to my Let's Play of Diablo II, Lord of Destruction. However, I can't really talk right now because I have to actually get into the game before I'm able to change the sound settings. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the game as quickly as possible. I'm not going to play hardcore, which basically is like permadeath, and it's going to be an expansion character. So we're going to go ahead and start the game. We get a loading screen. In here, I'm able to finally change the sound options. Wow, that's still really loud. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, everything's the way I had it. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go back, and this guy called Werv is gonna walk up to us. To move over to him, just move your mouse over to him, and then
well met, noble Paladin.
On him.
It's been a while since I've seen any of your kind in the West. It would be an honor to aid you in any way that I can. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Well, some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again.
These
I don't know if I believe
very
that,
slow, and I'm not going to be going through them.
Did travel this route a few weeks
because
ago.
of how slow they are.
He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed in his wake. You see, shortly after the wanderer went through, the monastery's gates to the pass were closed, and strange creatures began ravaging the countryside.
I'm going to go through this one.
Until it's safer outside the camp and the gates are reopened, I'll remain here with my caravan.
We're not going to go through any more of these.
For Lane before the shadow that fell over Tristram consumes us all. If you're still alive, then I'll take you along. You should talk to Akara, too. She seems to be the leader.
And he basically just tells you stuff that you don't really need to know. Okay, the basic controls for this game. I opens your inventory. B does as well. A shows your character's stats. T shows your character's skill trees. Q shows your quest menu. P shows your current party, but since we don't have any, we can't really see them. This is your belt, and you'll see that when you start, your belt is full of minor healing potions. Let me just double check and see how much they heal. They heal 45 points. For what you want to keep these in here because we're going to be fighting. I chose to start as a Paladin, which is one of the 7 classes you can start as. Each class has a different skill tree and different skills you can, different stats you can do as well. Okay, to move around, you just move this cursor and click around, and now you can see that we are walking. However, to run, press the R button, and you will always run. Now let's check out our Paladin stats, or our equipment. He starts out with a short sword and a buckler, both of which are very weak in terms of attack, damage, and defense. However, we're going to be getting more stuff as we journey out, because this is indeed an RPG. You click on this to close the button. Now, to bring up the main menu, you just press the escape button. Save and exit game works differently than most RPGs. Instead of saving at the spot where you're at, it will save your game and then return you to the nearest town. This should only be done if you've activated any way shrines or waypoints along the way, which I'm going to be showing you later. Now to get to the actual people in this town. Each town starts out with this rudimentary the basics of the towns. You start out with Charcy, or you start out with a blacksmith. You start out with a person who you're able to gamble with, which I'll discuss later. You start out with the main person who will help you travel between the different areas of the game. You have a person who you're able to hire party member or hirelings from, and you have a person who heals you and sells you magic, scrolls, potions, keys, and other miscellaneous stuff, as well as wands, scepters, and that kind of stuff. Whenever you see this exclamation mark above a person's head, that means that they have something to tell you, and it's important. So let's go ahead and left click on Akara, who basically tells you that she's the High Priestess and tells you about a cave that is called the Den of Evil that is outside of the rogue encampment, which is the name of the town that we are in.
There is a place of great evil in the wilderness. Cautious
And
rogue scouts.
she tells you to go and clear out the Den of Evil. And you'll notice that you get this thing in the lower left-hand corner. Click on it and you will see that you've activated the first quest, the Den of Evil, which we will be doing later. For right now though, I need to explain a few more things. The red orb on your on the far left is the life that you have. The blue orb on the far right is the mana that you have. Whenever you gain a level, which we'll be talking about later, click on this button and this button to learn the new gain attribute stat points and the skill point. You can decide what you want to do with them there. I'm not going to detail them right now because we haven't leveled up yet. Right here you can click on these and you can set them to certain things. For right now I'm going to set them both to attack because that's what we want to do. Lastly, this yellow bar is the amount of stamina. Every single time that you run outside of town, your stamina will go down. And when you stand still, it goes up. It regenerates. And the bar above it is your experience bar. Diablo 2 has a very hefty experience chart. And to tell you the truth, it would take you hundreds of hours to get a character to level 99. Or somebody that you know that knows what you want to do. One other thing that I forgot to mention is there's always a place for you to store your gold and places in and store some important items in your stash. This is all the space that you get, I believe. In the expansion it got doubled, but anyways, I'll be storing important items here later on. So let's get some action now, shall we? One other control I forgot to mention up is the mini-map. That is the mini-map up there, and actually I'm going to change it back to what it usually is, which is full screen, and hopefully you guys don't mind because that's the way I usually play. This shows you where you are on the map. It kind of obscures your character, but that's fine.